Hello everybody, it's Meehan here. I'd just like to talk about boxing. We all think, I suppose everybody agrees with me, boxing's the sport of kings. And what I want to talk about tonight is what I think is ruining boxing, because you don't have to be a scientist to work out that the popularity in boxing has a strong challenge from MMA, UFC. Personally, I don't think as a sport it can compete with boxing, but in the actual what happens in the ring, but it's what happens outside the ring that is giving it such a big head start in my point of view. I think what's one of the things that is ruining the sport of boxing is the promoters. We don't see the dream fights that we'll really like to see, and basically that comes down to a fighter being the promoter's meal ticket. So he doesn't want to risk his meal ticket. And the same, we have these, we have the organizations, the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, WBO. And every time, if you don't know, every time a fighter fights for one of those titles, or regional title, he pays a sanction fee. So how it works out is, whoever signs with the biggest promoter, those people with the sanctioning body, they see that that fighter will fight more because he's with a busy promoter. So obviously he's going to get higher ranked, because he might fight 4 or 5 times a year where someone else might fight only once. So they're going to show favour, which is a business, you can understand that. But I do believe that it damages the sport of boxing, the credibility, and it stops us seeing the fights that we want to see. Like we're going to see, fights like David Haye and Vladimir Klitschko. Good fight, There's nothing wrong with that fight. It's a beautiful fight. Everyone wants to see it. But they're too few and far between. I look back in the 80s when we had, what they were called the Four Kings: Duran, Hearns, Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard. When those guys fought, they all fought each other, and everybody benefited. The promoters, the fighters, the fans, mainly the fans, the paying public. We don't see those sort of fights anymore, and in my opinion, it is the people who are sort of running the sport, these big promoters, that have a lot to answer for. And I think that's why UFC is growing so fast, because it has only one owner. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think Dana White owns the whole thing, and he puts any fights he wants to put on. So the UFC fans are happy, whereas the boxing fans, we're sort of left wanting. Thank you. How's that? Started off talking too fast, eh?